Is going to reach here any minute now. What's remarkable is that they have kept their promise of being a peaceful protest, so much so that there is no sloganeering, no raised voices, only Tibetan monks chanting for Tibet's well-being, for its people. So as you can see behind me, it's only banners, posters that are doing the talking. It is a peaceful protest so far, and there is a lot of fervor even in their silence. The idea was to send a strong message. They've been camped here at Jantar Mantar for almost a month now. Today is the culmination of their efforts. In another few minutes, the torch will come here accompanied with the VIP guests. There is going to be a ceremony, and also they have put out a showcase of Tibetan culture which will be shown to the world. So really the strong message being sent out from this corner in Delhi amidst tight security.
Right, Neha, we can hear the chanting behind you. We're seeing those protesters. Remind our viewers at this point, this is the alternate torch relay. This is not the Olympic torch. This is the parallel relay, since these protesters weren't in fact allowed anywhere near the Olympic torch. In fact, Neha, we were also expecting to see, it wasn't just Tibetan protesters, we were also expecting to see several anti-China activists from across the world, really.
Well, Amrita, to be honest, we see the number of Tibetan protesters have far outnumbered any of the other anti-China protesters. There are a few, but compared to the Tibetan protesters, really a handful.
Right, okay. And of course, they're protesting China's human rights record as well as the situation in Tibet. Let's cross over to Shweta Balasubramaniam, who's in Bangalore. Shweta, India, of course, home to about 100,000 Tibetan refugees, in Bangalore, one of the epicenters. What are we seeing there?
Yes, Bangalore apparently has the second largest population of Tibetans in our country, and since morning there's been a lot of action here. Close to 1,500 protesters just behind me on the road, and they've all protesting against the Olympic torch coming into India and also against the atrocities in Tibet. And what they have launched today is their own independence torch protest, where they're saying that the Olympics actually is a game that stands for harmony and peace, and this is not the situation in China. They're violating human rights, and the Olympic Games should not be conducted here. In fact, I have a lot of protesters gathered with me who would also like to share their thoughts. Just a minute. Ma'am, what do you have to say?
Yeah, the Olympic torch is arriving here in India today at Rajpath. So the main thing we want to say is that the Olympic, we are not against the Olympic. The Olympic is the game for the spirit, you know. And China don't deserve Olympic at all. Since 1959, the millions were killed in Tibet. So I want to know that the athletics who are taking part in China should have a comfortable heart, you know. How come like somewhere killing and dying millions over there, and somebody taking part running on that ground? How can? I just wonder, you know. That's the most important thing that world must know.
So, right, several students have also taken part in the protest here, and they've left their college exams, and several people going to offices have all boycotted work and gathered here to express their solidarity with the atrocities happening in Tibet.
All right, Shweta, thanks for getting us at those voices in the ground. Shweta, Neha Seth, Geetika Pokhriyal and Mitu Jain. We'll be coming back to you, of course, to keep track of what's going on there, keeping in mind that alternate torch relay is also happening at the same time as the Olympic torch relay. Of course, it's been 137,000 kilometers. The Olympic torch relay started on the 1st of April. It will wind up back in China on the